to call how things are going to go.
It's impossible. You have the world's best all competing here. I think you guys highlighted a few goats to look out for. Manu, Anders, is there anyone else in the herd in your eyes?
I mean, Manu has got to be in the conversation. The two-time World Cup winner. He's on for a three-peat. If he does it, it kind of bypasses Anders, but Anders is up there for me.
Anders is trying to go 5 for 5 on the season. Is that not the most impressive thing you can do in this game?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's all you can do, essentially. Every major tournament he's entered so far, he's won. He was fantastic in the Euros and the E-Champions League as well. FC Pro, which is a really difficult tournament to win, and he felt short previously in that one. There's clips of that, and I'm sure people are watching are aware of it. I mean, look, Serie A as well. I mean, it's another league for Anders Vergang, and he does seem a little bit inevitable right now at this moment, and he's for sure the most confident player here.
And I feel like we didn't really talk about the Falcons because we had our Team Liquid guest up here, but Falcons are in a weird position. If you watched last season, they opened up with a Warzone victory. They were at the top of the leaderboard from day one. They're in the top 10 right now, but barely ahead of 7 other teams that are tied for 11. So they have 2 big dogs. Anders, biggest, but what about the OG, the one with arguably the biggest bark? Talk to me about Desari.
They used to call him the king of the jungle. I think that's still his nickname now. Desari's been competing ever since I used to compete. But to see him still here, his level is still at a very good level. And like you said, you've got the best player in the world in your team and your boss at the same event. I mean, for Team Falcons, what more can you ask for?
Falcons will be taking the stage in a little bit, but we have our first 6 competitors ready to go. Let's introduce them here on our stage. Walk me through the big dogs here. I see the returning champ in the top left, and then the guy in the top right. I went to a King's breakfast. It was Jafonzo walking away with the 2024 title here at EWC.
Yeah, Jafonzo representing Manchester City, of course, previously winning the World Championships, which, I mean, Manchester City, they brought him in to win these type of trophies because they've won the E-Premier League, which he's come and done his job for. Of course, they got Mateus Banana with him, but they have the eyes on the prize. They all want the World Cup trophy. And Jafonzo, he's done it once. Why not again? But this time repping Manchester City.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jafonso's a fantastic player, Premier League winner, like you just said, but I want to focus on that Manu Bashore
top left
again, because we're talking about a man who's done fantastic things in this tournament. We spoke about him before. He's going against the E-League champion in Karim, and I mean, that matchup is incredible. It's in a way, I think both players will be relieved that's an early game because we are in the league stage right now. Points do matter, of course. Yep. But, I mean, it's the bottom 12 players who miss out, which means, there's 24 players who will still be in it. It's a long-term game in this. You might even see moments, we've seen it with Anders Vergang in the past, where, a draw sometimes or a defeat or starting slowly is okay. Yeah. To the start, but what a fixture that is. What a first game. It's so hard to call, and both players will be super confident.
And I love the stress. You have to sit across from your opponent on the bus. You have to stare each other down, and then you have to play in this opening round. Chills, opening round matters, but it is not going to cost you a tournament if you lose here. For anyone who is kind of new to the system, we're going to send 12 players home by Friday.
Yeah.
How many points do I need to avoid getting sent home at the end of this portion?
I mean, that's thing about the league phase. Is so unpredictable. You going into this tournament, you might think, okay, if I get 7 points, that might be safe.
And that would be 2 wins and a tie?
2 wins and a tie. So that would be out of 6 games, you won 2 or maybe even drawn 4 and won the last one.
Okay.
And lost the last. So it doesn't really matter how you do it. You got to take 1 round at a time, control the controllables, and anything can happen. But it's hard to put a number on it.
Yeah, you can't put a number on it. It's so difficult. I mean, look, the players, we've had moments before in this format. Of course, the format's changed here, but we've had it in the E-Champions League before, where it has gone down to the last kick to decide whether a player goes into the knockout playoffs or goes home. We've seen it in the most dramatic fashion, I think, once again, of Tex. I mean, he's not here. There was moments where he lost out in the last kick of the game. We saw it as well this season as well. It's the best format.
Poor Tex, man. Poor Tex.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a fantastic run, though, and he's been brilliant also.
Speaking of fantastic runs, we have the returning champion in the venue tonight. We are going to take a look at how he got it done in 2025.
So here we are. Let's ask the guys what they're going to do to become the world champion this year. Here we have another world champion, Umut. What are you going to do this year to beat me, to become world champion again?
Just pray and hope you have a bad day, and I have a good day.
That's just it? So, bro. Emre, for you the same question. 2-time Champions League winner, you're the Real Madrid of EFC. What are you gonna do to become the Spain, the Brazil?
Yeah, I hope to have every luck on my side and that I win the tournament, that I get a lot of penalties and to beat everyone.
Just like Real Madrid in real life, he needs those penalties. So
Being cocky since he won last year?
Really cocky.
it's the other way around. It's the other way around. Every time I message him on Snapchat, I get left undelivered. So he's too busy with his girlfriend. So
Do esporters have girlfriends?
yes, we don't. Look how he looks. Of course, he has a girlfriend. How are you gonna beat me this year and become world champion?
Thank you so much.
You have to show me how to make a good picture.
What?
I have to ask you, how are you gonna become world champion this year? What you gonna do to not let me become world champion?
I will just score more than my opponent. That's it.
Come on, bro, give it a nice answer.
Because I'm the best. That's it.
Thank you. How are you gonna make sure I'm not the world champion this year and you're gonna be the world champion?
Honestly, if I lose the final against you, I will be happy. So, but maybe I will be. I don't know. It depends on the bracket.
Let's sign for that.
Yeah, I do. Top 2 and top 1. Top 3 and top 4.
Perfect.
Everyone is happy.
Everyone's there.
Oh, he's won the World Cup twice. He doesn't need any tips.
This is my coach. The answers from my opponents weren't that convincing. Looks like we still have a good chance, so let's see what the action brings.
All right, Manu's coming for our job once he's done playing. For now, though, he is going to be on the stage getting ready for the first round of action. While we're getting set up technically for that first battle, we could have about 10 minutes here to discuss the action. And I want to hear from you guys. We talked about the herd, the GOATs that are in the competition. But are there dark horses? Are there players to watch that you think could go deep that maybe the crowd isn't aware of yet?
I mean, this competition is fully stacked. I mean, we're trying to pick out who's actually not going to make it to the knockouts. And it's kind of like, oh, maybe him. But I think every single player in this tournament can win it. Dark horses for me, I'm going to say Guga, representing Manchester City. Even though I feel like every tournament he goes to, he's in every game. I don't know if you've seen his results. He feels like he's drawing every single game. But against the best players in the world, all you need is a few things and you'll get the win. So I think Guga and Nasada for me. Yeah. Nasada is one of the scariest mans on the game.
0 to 10 scale, how biased are you two boys for Manchester and Manchester City? 11.
Yeah,
I thought
I'd
so.
say about 11. But I mean, on the topic of Nasada, like you just said, Shells, this man has won the virtual Bundesliga. Like, he is by no means a dark horse, based on your question, but he oozes confidence. But there is that moment when you see Nasada when things don't quite go his way.
Yeah.
That, it gets away from him.
Oh, really? So emotional player to watch.
He's an emotional player.
Is that a good thing?
But it's great for us. Like, it's great for us here on the analysis desk. You see. I mean, even from a Man City perspective, when you see Matty Bonanno, we've seen it in previous years in the Premier League, in his league, where he's been so far behind. He's hyped himself up and he's got the job done. And we love to see it. Yeah. I mean, personally, who? If I was to ask you right now and put you on the spot, which player do you think is going to go all the way this weekend?
Okay, but we can't go against Mr. Inevitable, so I'm going to skip Anders.
So no Anders. Anders is off the board. Not allowed to discuss Anders. He's the easy win.
Anders. I'm going to go with Nasada or Alien Lion. I think there's something about them both. When they play, no one can slow them down if they get into their form. And I think they have that little young kind of fearless.
How old are they? Because in this tournament, you have a lower age restrictions than some of the other titles.
So Alien Lion, I believe, just turned 17. So he's one of the youngest players in the competition. Nasada, I think, is 18 as well himself. But it's just that raw ability that they both had. The new kind of evolution of FC players where they're just fast down the middle. You can't slow them down.
Imagine being 17. You're in high school and you're winning this Pro from EWC.
Two times though, he is ridiculous. Speaking of Manu Bishora, here he is now, Claudio Pina! Speaking of something that is going well, it's Umit because he's leading 3-0 in this game, sure.
What did I say before, Brandon? It's just these triggered runs in through centre midfield. They're so difficult to defend.
Without even scoring a single goal against Umit.
Watch Umit's runs here. It's very good defending from Manu. Manu's going to look to hold this last attack here, Brandon, I would say. You do not want to go in half-time 4-0 down. Obviously, Alex, thanks for that.
Claudio Pina, there's one!
And he's done the opposite.
Swemre Yilmaz does. It is Umit. 5-2, he leads now against Manu.
See the ball whipped in again. He's actually decided to bring the keeper out.
It was inevitable that was going to the back of the net. The goalkeeper comes out.
What is to be the start of 5 days of the AFC 26 action, the biggest ticket of the season, the biggest moment for a lot of these players in their careers. He knows it only too well. Manu Bishora, a two-time world champion, one of the only players to do that in this scene, in this last decade. What a talent, what a final it was last year in Saudi Arabia. Now we're here in Paris. Brandon Smith and Jaime Alvarez, you'll know him as Gravas. So Grav, this is the start of these players' journeys across the next 5 days.
This is the big one for them because, of course, we've had a beautiful season. Started with the FC Pro, jumping into the regular season as well with the leagues and stuff. Then we ended up things with the Champions League, but everything has come down to this. Just 5 days of FC 26 to crown the world champion. And I'm buzzing, Brandon, because I can see so many storylines. I can see Manu being a back-to-back champion and making it 3 times winning this title. I could see Anders becoming a 2-time world champion as well. Or we could see Nicolas finally cementing himself as the champion of the world. And with that, maybe retirement from him, we don't know. But it's going to be 5 exciting days ahead of us.
Well, look, there's 36 players playing in a World Championship. That is unheard of. We have never had that many players in a tournament like this with over $1 million on the line. And you look at the list of players, we are rolling back through the years. MS Dasari turns up to his first World Championships, 2019. Umit, since he won it in 2022, is back at a World Championship for the first time ever. You got Anders Vergang, 2024 World Champion, the Esports World Cup champion in Jafonzo in 2024 also. The two-time World Champion Manu Bishoy. The list goes on. There's one man that hasn't won the World Championship yet as well. His name is Nicholas99. He's playing in his 9th World title. And I believe matches are already underway. If we can jump to some games if possible. We've got 6 games underway at the same time, Grab. There is so much FC to keep our eyes on here. I mean, where are you looking? You've got RVP Legend against Nicholas99. You've got Schmork against Jafonzo. Karim is back against the defending world champion in Manu Bishoy. And that's just half of the games to talk about.
Yes, we have Luke against Hessers as well. We have T. Fernandez against Levy, and we have Virgil against Nazara. So it will be 6 brilliant FC26 games, and it seems we're underway, Brandon.
Here we go. Strap yourselves in for what is just day 1 of the action. 3 days, by the way, of this new league phase format. You may be accustomed to if you're not
2 months.
Well, I had the chance to look at previous matches coming up to this game as well, first round. There's only 2 players in this first round of games that have never played a competitive game against each other, as we see Nicholas tie the game up at 2-2 against RVP Legends. The only 2 games in this round, Di Fernandez, Levi David have never played before in a competitive game. They meet for the first time in the World Championships, and Jafonzo against Schmall. But, I mean, that's probably rightly so, because Schmall came from nowhere.
Nowhere.
I mean, I spoke to him before the Serie A finals in Napoli, and he said, look, a few months ago, I was thinking of jacking it all in. Next thing you know, he's at the World Championships.
That's the thing with the game right now. I mean, if you're good enough, it could take you just the chance of participating at a league, which is not easy. But if you get the chance to play at La Liga, at Italy, the Ligue 1, at the Premier League, you could make it into a World Championship. Wow.
Sama. Ho, ho, ho. There's going to be a lot of talk about her across the next 5 days. The Barcelona winger, Salma, once again. I mean, she was the hero in the last chance qualifier, wasn't she? We saw in the play-ins, and there's no surprise that a lot of the players that are already in the World Championships grabbed that looked around what was being used in Paris just over a week ago. And why wouldn't you put half the players in the team, such as Nazareth in there as well? Kika Nazareth, she'll be leading the line for a lot of players. Spoke to Anders Vergang yesterday, and Manny Bishoy, they're both in agreement that that is the striker to use as he scores another
one.
And he is 4-1 up now.
It's just the combination of the body type, the accelerate type, the play styles, and the stats. I mean, she's just the total package. Why wouldn't you use her when she's arguably the best winger in the game?
My question for you, Grav, is we're at an interesting stage of the year. We're seeing a lot of hype about FC27 already, the front covers, the potential trailers, of course, in the next coming days, and everyone's getting really excited. For these players here, how hard is it knowing that the last event that we were at, E-Champions League in Budapest, end of May, it's nearly about, 6 weeks or so that a lot of these players haven't played. Does it favour someone who's come through the last chance qualifier of players like Oberon? As we saw last year, Manu Bashure came through the play-ins, won the World Championships. Those players have had that little bit more time to play here in Paris and come accustomed to it.
I do think it's easier for the players that qualify through the LCQ and play-ins, such as you mentioned, Oberon, which, I mean, he was part of the commentator's booth in the ECL, he did an amazing job, Oberon. And then 2 months later, he's in here playing, qualifying, and he could be the world champion, without a doubt. So I do think it benefits them, because even though you can get the practice, and practice is important, and you can play foot champs, and you can play friendlies, and you can even play pro clubs, same as Richard Buckley, it's not the same as getting in here and getting into the competition. And I mean, those LCQ matches, they're ruthless, as we just see the replay with the analog sprinting coming in from Nicholas to make it 3-2 against RBP Legends.
9 World Championships in a row from Nicholas. It is just ridiculous, isn't it? The level of consistency we've seen. Right, here's an update. They've never played before, and Di Fernandez was leading his 3-2. Levy has got one back. We heard from Renzo at the top of the show how important this is for Team Liquid, and more so Team Falcons, the 2-time club championship winners. There are more points and more prizes and a lot of prize money involved in the Esports World Cup Club Championships. Of course, there are titles across these 7 weeks in Paris. Each of them allow a selection of points to be won. That goes onto a leaderboard. And for esports teams competing in multiple games, man, it probably should have been 5-1 up by the break. There's a lot of extra prize money on the line. And as we close out the first half of the final kick of possession, what have we made of Manu so far? I mean, it looks pretty simple and very convincing from him.
It just feels like a throwback to FC25 in a way, in which Manu Bashar, even though he played well throughout the whole season, don't get me wrong, he's a completely different player in here in the World Championship. I feel like he has the rhythm. It's really tough to attack against him because he's so good with player switching. And then when he's building up from the back, he doesn't lose the ball. And he scores so many goals. It really seems like he's the complete package.
What do you think separates the standard player from a world champion? I mean, Jesus, people sort of underestimate a little bit. I think maybe Italy. This is the first time ever in this esport that there's been this many Italians, by the way. This is German levels of Italy. If you don't know what we mean by that, back in the days of what? I want to say 2019, 2020, 2016, 2017, it was Germany that made up the most in terms of competitors at World Championships. This year, mainly because Matthias Pinano has become Italian, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks with the Nations Cup around the corner. There are 8 Italians here. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And that's a good comparison to Germany back in the days.
And the reason for that, Grab, I guess, is what? Serie A has been good to a few of them. The FC Pro Open with Danny Pitbull and Hezes has been great there, but also Oberon coming through on the last chance qualifier.
It feels like they did it all throughout the whole season. I mean, it was FC Pro, as you mentioned, it was DCL, it was everything really. So I do feel like back in the days, you would probably think, as we just see, another goal scored by Levy with the analog sprint as well. I do feel like Spain and Italy were in a similar situation in which they had good players, but they weren't cementing themselves as the best players in the world. And Spain has kind of crumbled under pressure. I mean, we do have need, but that's just it. And Italy has just gone the other way around, which is something that I would say I'm really happy.
Extra pass, doesn't need it, he's offside. Right. I mean, that's what I wanted to speak to you about. I mean, shame for Tex not to be here. Of course, he misses out on a penalty shootout. But for Spain, I mean, you know better than anyone, Graham, it's been a little bit of time before we've seen someone from Spain pull through and give us a really big performance in the World Championships.
I don't know when that was. I mean, I'm thinking about JRA back in 2023. I mean, he did good, but it was just round of 16, which isn't good enough, to be fair. If we're talking about semifinals, quarterfinals, or final, it's been a long, long time coming. So maybe it's chance of making it into a final and making his country proud. But if I'm honest, it is going to be difficult.
Absolutely. Well, look, updates around the ground. Tezza's 4-1 up in this game. Schmalk, 3-2 he leads against Jafonzo. Nasada, 4-2 up against Virgil. Nicholas starting to turn the tides, I should say. 5-2 he leads in his game. And our featured game, which we will get back to shortly, it is Manu 4, Karim is back 2.
Wow.
As it stands so far in this game.
We have a comeback. I will say I'm a big fan of Hessers and the way he plays. And of course, with the introduction of Juanman as his coaches, it seems like we're seeing a completely different Hesser.
But 3 minutes left, plus additional time, Rich.
We left this game at 5-8, and we thought it's
No
done.
way.
PhD, and he's never done offside just on that occasion. I think the referee will continue to play here. And Levy Finn is in a real tough predicament here, because do you go forward? Do you try and get that 9th goal and completely seal the tie, or is possession?
Half.
15 goals. It's a battle in the opening game. But Levy Finn will come out victorious, 8-7 with the victory. 3 points on the board, and even at this early stage, Ryan, 3 points feels huge.
Yep, it does. Get points on the board early is very, very important. But then opposite side of things, 4 P8s in, it obviously isn't the end of the tournament. It's only the first round. And Anders said it in his interview. It really doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Well, there you have it, Ryan. Some incredible matches, some incredible performances, and the actual roll on right after this very short break.
I'm spending the next 2 months in Paris and already deeply regretting sleeping through 4 years of French in high school. But c'est la vie! To avoid being an ignorant American tourist, I found myself a French tutor to really help me learn the language. And there she is now! Everyone, this is Kitty, aka La Petite Sean. I did a little bit of Duolingo on the flight over. I'm excited to learn from you today. Where's Bray?
I don't have one.
Phone!
Look, I was told I'd be talking about Rainbow Six and Valorant teams today, but instead they put me with this Emily in Paris knockoff. I think I can make it work, but she called me her little dog? Okay, so we are at a flower shop. We call that in French des fleurs.
Des fleurs.
Okay, you know what? It's okay. We will try with another word, huh?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect. Fougère.
Forgery. I can't wait to visit all of these cute restaurants all around Paris, or brasiers, as the French call them, right?
Yeah, that's the words.
Okay, so if I wanted to order a baguette, what would I say?
You would say, voulez-vous
coucher
avec moi?
Avec moi. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Perfect.
I'm gonna go try it out. Ooh, this is really cute. How would I ask to try this on?
Oh, actually, you can say, je mange des gens.
Je mange des gens. Okay. Je mange des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens.
Des gens mange. Je mange des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens, c'est une robe.
Where am I messing
Vous
up?
voulez essayer la robe?
No. Je gens, s'il vous plaît.
Non, on mange pas les gens chez moi.
Kitty has been the best teacher so far. I feel like I'm picking up the language really quickly. I mean, whenever I speak with real French people, they seem so surprised by how good my accent is. I'm doing très bon.
Oh là là, et puis ça y est, je suis américaine. On a compris que t'es américaine. On a compris.
Kitty, I did it! He even gave it to me for free.
Oh wow, that's amazing! Come with me, yeah.
Okay, good. Do we get jam? Okay, so as I get it, the French don't really like the American tourists, right?
Not really.
So what can I say to have them truly embrace me as a local?
Just tell them.
Mbappé a Plumer! Kitty, it worked! They've accepted me as one of their own! I'm off to see Paris, and it's all thanks to you!
Bon débat.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Welcome back, everyone. We have 2 rounds done, completed, and I am joined by the one and only Levy Finn. I just watched that match up against Piaget. You were down 4-2, but you were able to crawl your way back into that competition. Talk to me how you're feeling after round 1 for you.
Yeah, obviously, I'm very happy. I won my first match, had a great start into the World Championship against a really, really good player, Piaget. As you said, like, it was up, but I just tried to focus on my game. Could won the game at the end. So yeah, obviously I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to the round 2 against Karim.
Now let's talk about how you even qualified to be here. You went through play-ins, which I know was very grueling. You beat Gueric in that final match. Do you find that gives you a little bit of advantage? Because you played 10 days ago. A lot of these other players played in their leagues months ago.
Yeah, true. Of course, I don't know if it's an advantage, but as you said, like, I had 10 days before started to get in touch with the competition again, to being on a big stage. So I don't know if it's an advantage. I feel good. As you said, I beat Gueric also against a Brazilian guy. And now I'm happy to be here. And yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to the next games.
Well, next games, let's talk about that one. Karim is back as your next opponent. So what is your mindset going into that one?
Like, the mindset is like, it is like every game playing against a really good player. Won the E-League Art this year with his teammate Marwan. I don't know how he played his first game, but I try to focus on my game, collecting points and going through the group stage.
All right, well, Love, you have had a fantastic start. I'll let you get back to those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Kicking things off with 3 points is not a bad start for the Red Bull. Let's take a look at some of the bigger action, though. And I heard that you two gentlemen have some crappy rosters. So I hold this card close to my chest, my heart normally. Chels, do you need this more, or do you think?
What's Casey doing here, man? I just had enough from her over there. But
yeah, did you just toss Casey's 99 gold straight off the set? Yes. Case, sorry about that. We're going to be diving into this matchup a little bit deeper here, and of course, that was the closest fight. But were there any other surprises from the set for you?
Yeah, I mean, there was a massive surprise in that round. It was the lowest ranked player here, Milkalov. What a result against a man who we were speaking about at the start. Oberon is nuts, by the way. He is one of the best FC players around. A massive, massive result from Milkalov.
Yeah, I mean, Oberon, you would not expect him, I guess, dropping the first game against an opponent like Milkalov. But like we said before in this competition, every player here can potentially go and win it. And there's no joke for them making it this far. So for Milkalov, he probably has that little upper hand where everyone's looking at him thinking that's the 3 points they need to get. And he can use that to his advantage. And what a start for him.
Now, you guys told me that Anders is in the GOAT conversation, that he is looking to go 5 for 5, but you didn't tell me he is this confident on stage. The man's a little bit sassy after each goal.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a performer as well as a great FC player. We've seen it throughout the whole season. He's fantastic 8-4 win against Red Lac. I mean, let's push it over though, shall we, to Samu Gamer, because we haven't really spoken about him much. Shells, I know during previous FC titles you've said you're a massive fan of Samu Gamer, in particular the dark arts.
Yeah.
He got the job done in the first game.
And with Samu Gamer, like I said, he's for so young at his age, 17, 18, his whole game is complete. He can do it all, mechanically, defensively, scoring goals, crossing skills, the dark arts, as you said. And I think for Samu Gamer, he has that little ego in him, that little confidence, the arrogance you need to compete against the Anders and the Manny Bachors if you want to go far. And I think for Samu Gamer, this could be the tournament to go all the way.
All right, we've got some highlights rolling out here in just a little bit. Until we get to those, anyone you want to give a shout out to? I know we've got fans from all over the world watching the world's best here at FC Pro.
Oh, you know what? I've got to give a shout out to the guys who were making so much noise last year, and that was the Team Falcons guys. They bought the vibes in Saudi when we were there last year in Riyadh, and it was amazing. I know they'll be watching in their numbers. They would have been so happy with the way Anders played in the last game. I mean, this man as well, Shells. Bonanno, he got his first win on the board.
Yeah.
He's got Jafonso next.
Yeah, and I think that was a big game for Bonanno because you know you're playing your teammate in the next round and you want to start off with a win. Of course, you want to beat your teammate as well, but you don't want to have more pressure on basing your teammate if he had a bad result first game. And against Casio, winning that game, who came through the play-ins, that's a big start from Bonanno. And now we're going on to Danny Pitbull and Neat.
How did Neat do so far in his opening set?
I mean, Neat's got the win as well. I mean, he came through the play-ins, like we said. I think the players who come through the play-ins have that little edge because they've been here. They've done it before. Danny Pitbull, of course, one of the nicest men in the scene, but also a very, very good FC player. Not the best start for him. But in this league stage, there's plenty of games to go. I want to ask you something. You said to me, I mean, that Matty against Jafonso fixture, which is coming up a little bit later, this is an individual competition, albeit these guys are competitors. They're winners, both of them.
Yeah.
How much thought is going to go into that? Because surely both players in that game are going to try and win, no matter what. And look, from a Man City esports perspective, they would like the results to, the players to be getting as many points as they can. But in this one, you just got to sit back and let them go at each other.
Yeah, of course, it's friendly competition. I think it's tough for the boys because they work all season together through all year. So you don't really want to play your team at any time. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. So these boys have to face each other. But luckily, it's in the group and league phases. And hopefully they can avoid each other in the knockouts if they get past. But it's a big game for them both. And they want to try and, I guess, have the bragging rights of who's the number one and see.
Yeah, bragging rights indeed. Of course, Guga Faraz is also part of the Man City esports division as well. He's representing the team that he qualified with whilst being here. I mean, one thing that we've seen, Cookit, is the goals, the amount of goals. We can't say it enough. There are so many goals going in every single moment.
High scoring games across the board, and we are just 2 sets in. Reminder, we are going to do 3 sets today. That is 3 matches on each stage. And of course, we have 3 days of this. So at the end, you mentioned you want to have at least 7 points, maybe 8 points after watching this opening round. Shells, what are we feeling?
Yeah, you can't really put a number on it, but I think 7 is a safe bet. I think if you got 8, you're definitely
good.
Through. If you don't make it through with 8, I'm sorry, brother. That's not on me. But I think you can't really put a number on it, but 8 or 7.
7, you reckon 7 points is getting you in that 24?
There's a few. There might be 1 or 2 7 that might not make it.
So what about top 8 then? Because that
top 8's got to be double digits.
I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see a very, very important aspect of it, which is the tiebreaker style, the head-to-heads and everything like that within this format. This is the best format in FC, in my opinion. We've seen it.
You like the format?
I absolutely love this format. I'm so glad that it's here at the World Championships. It's also nice to see tactically how the players sort of react to where they are in the leaderboards. Of course, everyone wants that top 8. But, I mean, if you get in the top 8, you go into a round.
You're guaranteed top 16.
Yeah, you're guaranteed top 16. So prize money-wise, you're happy. But you also have to play your first game against an opponent who's already had a game in the round before.
But didn't you play 6 games to get there? Isn't that enough?
I hear it, but on the day, Shells, you're better placed to answer this, right? On the day, would you rather have a first game to settle in, be confident, and then play against someone who's in the top 8? Of course, if you're playing the top 8 player, you're playing one of the best in the competition so far. Or would you rather be in that top 8, in that 16, and come up against someone who's warm, who's confident, who's just had a great win to get there? What are you thinking?
I'm a 50-50 man because I like...
I'm going to sit on the fence. That's not allowed on my desk. I need an A or a B. Pick one.
Okay, hear me out. I think I would take the skip of the round just because it takes a lot of pressure.
Right.
But
I can prep for both people too.
But having the advantage of maybe winning the round before, it is a bit of an unfair advantage in a way. But I like to relax, so let me skip around, please.
Just take the prize money. You're happy. I like it.
How in this sport? How much are you guys prepping for your opponent? Are you purely playing your game? Because there's counter picks in other titles where you're making sure that your opponent can't play their perfect game.
Surely you've got to just prepare to score goals in this game.
Yeah.
Speaking of scoring goals, I'm told our casters are ready to call some. The next round of games is ready. Take it away, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very much, guys.
Rich, just one thing. Shells, how is that fence you're sitting on? How is it? How is it looking like? Come on, we're here to give predictions. Rich, I know you're a man of predictions. Did Umit against MS Dosari, how is it looking for you?
It's just such a tough one because you don't know what to expect from Dosari. Obviously, you can talk about his accolades all day long. 2018 world champion, multiple time champion across the board. However, when it comes down to it, he's also the chairman of Team Falcons. He's also a very, very, very busy man. But he's still applying himself. He finished second in the ESPL Saudi Pro League title behind that man right there, Abu Maka, a once Falcon, now no longer. So if I were to give a prediction, I think Umit wins. However, I'm more intrigued to see what the King of the Jungle can offer us.
I agree 100%. I'm curious to see how MS Dosari is going to play in here, because I know, as you mentioned, being the CEO, being the chairman of Falcons.
Busy guy.
He's a busy guy, but I know he's been working with Javi Villar for a couple of years, but specifically for these last couple of months. So I'm curious to see how he's going to approach this FC Pro World Championship as well.
I'll take you a little peek behind the curtain. Obviously, Team Falcons, this is almost their tournament. They've won it twice now. They are looking for the ultimate prize, the club championship, the top spot. There was maybe a conversation saying, you want to come on, maybe talk about that. How important is it that Team Falcons have a great representation in the FC Pro World Championships? I'm not the CEO of Team Falcons this week. I'm a player, was his answer. I think that shows maybe the mindset that we're going to get from Mr. MS Dosari. On the other side of the stage, you can't not talk about the 2022 world champion, Umit, from RB Leipzig. When you talk about those best of all time debates, he's not really in that conversation, Umit, but he's right on the bubble. A title here maybe puts him towards the top of the tree.
He's not far away either, especially if you take into account the 2v2 and the 1v1. He's up there, but he's been suffering throughout the whole last 2 years, I would say, with
his first World Championships in a little while.
Yes. Even though he's playing good, he's not up to the caliber of GOAT material in the last couple of years, but we're on the way, Richard.
We certainly are. Umit will be kicking from left to right in the RB Leipzig strip, and from right to left, Team Falcons, MS Dosari. There's always a buzz when this man takes to the stage. A decade of brilliance within FC. And the 2026 World Championship once again. MS Dosari is here to play as he opens up with Adam Water on the edge of the box, looking for angles to maybe find Jamal, and it's a finesse shot into a group of bodies. We've got an early breakthrough here between Guga and Emre Yilmaz. And it's the young star, runner-up on many occasions this season. What an opening season he's had, Guga.
It seems he's always just one step away from championship material at the moment. I mean, he's been top 2, top 4 throughout the whole year, especially in Portugal. So I'm curious to see how Guga is going to perform in here, Paris, because it has been a great breakthrough year for him.
Commonwealth Libertadores, top 4. Obviously, the Portuguese Pro League finished second with Santa Clara. Comes into the play-ins and performs incredibly well.
Incredible.
Other matches in this round, Alihan against Abu Maka. They're going head-to-head. We've got Paolo Neto up against Christa Bort. Obviously, the match in here that we are looking at. A Ligue 1 affair between Marwan and Brice. Abu Maka going 1-0 up. in the opening 5 minutes as MS Dossery kickstarts his campaign with Jamal Musiala.
It had to be him. I do feel like Musiala is a player that really suits the playstyle from MS Dossery, especially with the passing playstyles and the passing stats. So I do feel like, even though Dos always approaches the game in a way in which he played back in 2019, I do feel like you can adapt to the meta, and I feel like he will do this year. And we had a question on the chat by Kira Sensei, Rich. Is MS Dossery on the same team as Anders?
Correct. They absolutely are.
That's Team Falcons. As we see the replay coming in from Guga against Emre. And that's Jude Bellingham making it 2-0. Guga, great start.
Emre, typically a player who races out the blocks. And a bit of frustration creeping in there from Emre Yilmaz, 2-0 down. The final match, just to update you on, K1 John and Ilian from PSG Team Vitality. They've kicked off 0-0, only 2 minutes on the clock. After this round, Grav, every single player, all 36, will have played one game. We'll start to get a decent picture on how that table's looking. But there's so many points left up for grabs.
We have 5 rounds left, so see how everything turns up to be. As we see the replay coming in from Rodri, making it 1-1 for Umut. Curious, because I didn't think Rodri was going to start for a lot of in here. I did think we're going to see a lot of Jude Bellingham, a lot of Xhaka.
Yep.
And Rodri was not a pick that I expected, to be fair. We see Emre Yilmaz making it 2-1 with Dembele, the 98 rate item.
Looks a bit frustrated, doesn't he, Emre Yilmaz there? Long ball over the top to find Saka. Now the Granit Xhaka item that you mentioned brought into play. There is Roger with the 5 playstyle pluses. The path to glory with Rodri after, I'm sure it won't be the first time this weekend, Spain's victory. As Grav has been telling us. Kika Nazareth. Play lock pass in the middle of the pitch. Plenty of space and a 2-1 lead for Umut.
Great goal, and that's something that we should definitely discuss during this whole week of FC Pro World Championship action. And it's the comparison between the likes of Kika Nazareth, the likes of Salma Parayuelo. As we see that great chance by Jude Bellingham. Only 3 playstyle pluses, but they are still meta, and they are still used in here, which I think explains, Rich, that if you got 3 really good playstyles, and then you have good stats as well, I do think it's enough.
Good stats. In Salma's case, the accelerate type, the body type, for example, all those sort of small details would outweigh. You would rather have 3 playstyle pluses that are incisive, finesse, and
rapid,
rather than 5 playstyle pluses, with 2 of those maybe being power shot and long throw, as MS Dossery levels up the tie once again. Kika Nazareth, a name that if you didn't know, get to know.
You should, definitely. And I mean, we were talking about the way Dos approaches the game, especially from 2018-19, and this was a great example. That was a counter-attack, attacking on the wing, an easy pass back, and the tap-in by Kika Nazareth. Similar explanation to Salma Parayuelo.
So we'll keep that in, actually, with Yamal on the far side of the pitch there. 98 rated Yamal. Phenoms. So many different items in the team here. You've got Team of the Seasons, Path to Glories, Summer Stars, Icons, Heroes.
Whoa.
You name it, they're featured. Here is Jude Bellingham. Dangerous inside the box. Cast your eyes to the bottom left corner there. Doesn't fall to him in the end. And a take-ahead goal from K1 John leads 2-1. Is that just offside there from Umut? Couple of centimetres too early.
Curious, because another narrative into this game is the use of the centre backs, because on one side we do have Maldini and Araujo. Araujo is the most picked centre back in here at the FC Pro World Championships. On the other side we have Jab Stam, and I'm confident it's Upamecano, but I do think it's the position that's gonna change the most in here.
I mean,
Maris.
with you look at the fullbacks. A lot of people are using Mark Pubel in at right back.
Yeah.
Obviously, the play styles, the body type, the lengthy player that he is. I've also seen Araujo in at right back as well. Kike Nazareth just on side, twisting and turning, trying to get back on, but looks like Pacho there coming across.
It was Pamecano, sorry. But it is a nice topic, Rich, because I do really like Araujo as a right back, even though offensively, as we just see this, great save by Casillas. I do think Araujo is great as a fullback, but I just don't really like him as a centre back. My opinion. I will probably go with either Jaap Stam, which in my opinion is the greatest, or maybe Maldini. And if you want to save some coins,
what about Lacroix? We saw him a lot at the LCQ.
You could go with him if you want to save a few coins, but I just not sure about Araujo.
There is Kiko with the finesse shot, and I'm sure people will be asking in the chat the Summer Stars 99 rated Spanish items, for example. They were out of eligibility when the teams were drafted. The best player to go is maybe get a path to glory. And Laporte, he's now got 5 play style pluses, and he was eligible to be in. But he's not selected that many times.
I don't think he has a great body type, Laporte. We just see that.
What about Van Dijk? No Van Dijk, team of the season?
I did try him at home, and in my opinion, out of all the centre backs that I used, for me, Van Dijk was the best. He was so strong. He was just physically, he was outstanding. But I will say he was a bit slow.
Chat, you let us know. Who's a player, 15 million coin budget, who is guaranteed to be in the team? Is it Johan Cruyff? Is it Pele? Is it R9? Ruud Gullit, Patrick Vieira? You can name the icons as long as we go live here over the next 5 days. See the stats there at a quick glance. Possession in Umert's favour as he goes into this pause, leading 4-2. Let me talk to you very quickly as the chat comes in with some of those suggestions through the other matches that are taking place. Marwan and Brees 1-1 at this current moment. Ilian 2, K1 John 2. You've got Guga 4, Emre Yilmaz 3, and Paolo Neto and Cristobal. Can we go to that game if possible? Game 4, because there is goals galore in that matchup between Paolo Neto and Cristobal. It's 5-4 at the moment. Chris leading. While we just wait for this pause, let's jump into it in full and we can see how this match has taken place so far.
It is 2-2 to Ilian at the moment in this match against K1 John. I will say that Ilian, for the last 2 years, was 1 game away from qualifying to the World Championship. I don't know if you remember back in FC 24.
Yep.
At Dallas, he was just 1 game away from qualifying, and it was devastating to him seeing him lose. Same at the Illican finals last year. So I'm happy for him. I do feel like he deserves it, and I feel like he could be one of the dark horses in here in the tournament.
I'm sure if he makes it into a deep running of the tournament as well, those Parisian fans will make their way out for Ilian, representing Vitality and also PSG.
We have a comment on the Twitch chat as well, Richard, with 50 million budget. He has to be R9. I don't know about that. R9 this year.
Does it have the play styles?
He doesn't really.
Well, we jump back into this game with a replay here. MS Dossery, 4-3 now. Lamine Yamal with a little tucked toe poke of a finesse shot past the onrushing goalkeeper. As we're going to see the moment that put K1 John ahead here for Austin. Umet coming forward once again. We're on the precipice of half-time with only 1 additional minute. Can MS Dossery go into the break with a level ball game? No, he will not. As Emre Yilmaz levels the tie, 4-4.
Great goal by Emre Yilmaz as we just saw. Dos just attacking slowly on the wing, trying to look for the last kick of the first half. And I will say that even though it seems like Umut has been dominating the match, DOS is alive. It's 4-3 down, just one goal down, and it could be on for a better second half as we just jump over to this Ilian K1 John, which is still 2-3.
We just see the scores coming through the right-hand side of your screen there. Marwan 2-1 against Breeze. Cristobal still leading 5-4 against Paulo Neto.
Great match.
Guga and Emre level 4-4. We just saw the equalising goal from the two-time E-Champions League winner Emre Yilmaz. And Abu Maka leading 3-1 against RB Leipzig's Ali Han Lion. There are all the updates from around the grounds with half-time approaching. Grav, what are you made of this first 45? I'm going to ask you in particular on the Umut and MS Dosri game. It's the game we've seen in the fullest so far, as this chance will fall for nothing. What's your thoughts at the break?
I will say that I like the way Umut's approaching the game. I like the way he's holding the ball. I remember the stat, which was 73% of possession. So I feel like he's doing the right things. He's second man pressing well. And when he has the chance to look for that pass to Salma Parayuelo, he's just going for it and he's scoring goals. But the king of the jungle out. So let's see what happens in the second half.
But it's the king of Sao Paulo, Paulo Neto, the Commonwealth E-Libertadores champion that we jump to now. His performances at the World Championships for a player of his quality, not quite been able to get into that quarter-final, semi-final stage. Could this be the tournament that he does go a couple of steps further, Graf?
It could be. Could be. I mean, you never know, especially with the tournament which is played during 5 days. I do feel like you could see the progression of the players throughout the whole week. I'm curious to see that, because I feel like when we are playing, let's just say, on a 2-day tournament, usually... what a ball.
Bottom left corner, just offside as Guga once again goes back in front.
I feel like when back to my point, I feel like when we're watching a 2-day tournament, you don't really see that much progression from players. But it's a 5-day one.
I mean, it's quite obvious the question I'm going to ask from you, when the best time to peak is on. It's going to be on Sunday, right?
Yes.
But you might not get to Sunday.
It could happen.
Throughout the 3 days of groups, when's the best day to, if you're going to get 6 points, is it just 6 points at any point, or are you wanting day 2 or day 3 when you start to see how the table's looking?
As we just see this goal being scored by Chris De Boer, it was a bit crappy, but it counted. Scrappy, sorry. I want to... That question was really good. I would say, in my opinion, it's day 2, Rich. Yep. Day 2, you could really... You could get 6 points, and I feel like it's the right moment between playing good enough in the first day, which would make you get 1 point out of 6. Then you get 6 points. I feel like the pressure is off your shoulders on day 3.
It's all about managing that pressure, managing that momentum and confidence.
You never know. What would you say? Day 1, 3, 2?
5.
5.
Win the tournament.
It's you.
Yeah. I'm only here for one thing. FC Pro World Championship.
Right on.
1,000 Esports World Cup Club Championship points to an organisation as well. Straight from kickoff, Paulo Neto down the other end. Jude Bellingham, there was the finish at the near post, 6-6. Let's turn our attention into this game for a little while then. It was the match that we started this round of fixtures off with in the third part, shall we say, of round 1. As Ilian levels the tie. Is that onside? Not quite. Pause comes in. Talking about the pauses, because a lot of people, this is a moment where your opponent pauses it on Foot Champions. You look down at your phone. You get frustrated. Why are you pausing? What, come on, play the game, play the game. In the pro scene, these are maybe the most important moments of the match.
Probably. I feel like those are the moments which define matches, especially if, as we've seen from the 6 matches, it's really usually is a goal difference in these instances. So I feel like I'm really a big fan of just pausing the game for 90 seconds, talking with your coach, and trying to look for a way in which you can approach those last 20 minutes of the game. I feel like you could, sometimes when you're playing and you're on that tunnel vision, you don't really know what you're doing wrong. And the right words from your coach could mean 3 points. So I don't really get why players skip replays, they don't pause the game, because I feel like that plays such a huge impact.
Yeah, managing almost the pace of the match, as that could have got very, very dangerous at the back there for K1 John for a split second. Does get away with it with some good composed passing out of the back. That pause has been cued there, or should I say demanded by Ilian. Just see those runners off the ball here. Not the best of attacks from K1 John, and Ilian will have an opportunity with the mastery of the player locks that he does have to be able to carve open an opportunity here. Luca Bacchio twisting back inside. As we see the leveler there from Guga, 6-6 now that game lies. As we cast our attentions back to Ilian at the near post, Casillas with a big save, and actually saves the corner.
Oh.
As we approach this final furlong of action here in the opening round of the FC Pro World Championships, a pause comes in. Let me talk you through the other matches as we currently see them.
Go for it.
Marwan just concedes there against Brice. That's a replay. That's 3-3 right now. We have got Umut leading 5-4 against MS Dosseri. And Abu Maka leading 4-2 against Ali Han as Umut comes in with a goal on the score sheet, 6-4.
Massive goal for Umut.
You see, 4 out of the 6 games he pauses.
You were mentioning how those are the defining moments of the match, and it's 100% truth, as we just see this goal by Kika Nazareth with an incisive pass coming in from Dembele.
Runner-up at last year's World Championships right there in Brice. Not had the season really that he would have wanted. FC Pro Open didn't go his way. You look then at the E-League and a disappointing, by his standards, performance there.
Definitely.
Had to go into the play-ins, had to get it done. And coming into the World Championships last year, he wasn't a name that you were thinking he's going to make not only Championship Sunday, but make a run to the top 2. He could do it again. There's nothing stopping him.
No. It's a similar situation to last year. No one expecting anything from him. And I feel like that takes huge pressure off your shoulders. So let's see how he approaches it. Because I feel like if he, let's just say he matches Nicolas again in a quarterfinal, Nicolas won't approach the game the same way he did last year.
Umut with just over 20 minutes left on the clock, leading against MS Dosseri. And as it goes now in the final sort of 15, 20 minutes, Grav, the FC Pro Opens of the last couple of years, the continuous, relentless qualifying campaigns that Umut has been on to get to the World Championships that may just get him over the line.
Let's see how it is, because we just see
what a game.
Scoring the 8th goal of the match for him so far. I'm curious to see how Dos approaches the game with a 2-goal difference lose at the moment, because he's brilliant at second man pressing and pressing high up the pitch, but it's really players and he'll go forward. So let's see who's able to prevail. I do feel like Dosseri is going to score at least another goal. The question is, will Umut do the same? Which Could definitely do.
Absolutely. I was just looking there at Cristobal in his games. At the E-Champions League, I don't know if you remember some of the matches that we saw from him. Just goals galore. 8-3, 9-6, 7-8. The year before at the E-Champions League. This year, again, just goals, goals, goals with Chris. But it's probably not the game you want to play. Maybe against Paolo Neto.
Probably.
K1 John with a great block there from Ilian to stop a 5-3 lead. There's all the matches. There's the emotion starting to come out of the players as well, as they all know how important getting that opening 3 points, that opening start to the FC Pro World Championships really is.
No.
Mistake from Dosseri. Punished off the line. Incredible. He pulled the Raul back there and he's flicked it from underneath his own crossbar. The veteran, the wily veteran. Keeping himself in the game. Have a look at this.
The replay.
Lovely build-up play once again from Umut, just probing and prodding Dosseri on the edge of the box. And he looks like he could find his way in. Guga there with another goal between him and Emre Yilmaz.
Great defense by Umut.
Jude into Kika Nazareth. Great block.
Great block as well. The player switching first to the right back, then against the centre back. That was great from the 2022 World Champ.
And those live updates cycling through on the right-hand side of your screen. Alihan, Abu Maka, 4-4 in their matchup. This is Cristobal and Paolo Neto. Maybe Cristobal does want to get involved in a goal-scoring frenzy against Paolo Neto. 10-7. Umut drives forward once again. This one Dembele causing Casillas to pull out some quick reflexes. This game feels as though it's just teetering Umut's way.
Definitely has, as we see the replay coming in from Lionel Messi. Marwan to make it 5-4 in an all-French matchup. You can see the frustration building up from Greece. And this has to be it. This has to be the final chance.
2 goals in 3 minutes.
He needs to score in this, Rich.
And not only needs to score, Grab, but he needs to score pretty quickly as well. Pretty sharpish. Yamal, Paraleo finds the finesse. 6-5. Can Umut hold on? There's black shirts flying forward. The team press activated. But with only 1 minute on the clock, you just don't know if he's going to get a chance. There's no passes there for him. He gets away with it, threads the needle, and 3 points on the board.
Wow. Game management.
Perfect, really. Risky.
Was.
But worked out.
Flawless performance by the 2022 World Champ. Deserved win over MS Dosseri. And 3 points for him. So we just jump over to this Alihan matchup.
What else are we seeing then across the games here? Ilian lost 4-3 to K1 John. Umut 6, Abu Maka, MS Dosseri 5, as Abu Maka, we see on the screen right here. Embroiled in action. 4-4. at this current moment. That was the goal that we had just seen a replay from them. And once the game's back underway with live action, we will join it. As for Emre Yilmaz and Guga, 8-7, Guga leads.
Wow. I don't think we've seen Emre Yilmaz dropping many points at a league table.
Not at all.
No.
It's usually top of the pile, 15 out of 15, 18 out of 18, 24 out of 24, whatever sort of group phase you want to call it, whatever league stage you want to call it, whatever it is, he's usually at the top. As you said, Grav, two players that did compete in the E-League Championships this season. As for Marwan, he was victorious, lifting that trophy aloft with AS Monaco. Brice turns the corner. Benitez, what a save. What a save. And even as credible as that save is, it should have been a goal.
It should have been one. Was maybe the lack of the playstyle plus from Fiamma Benitez, but I thought it was a goal, Rich.
Playing for the last attack here now is Brice. Has he gone just a second or two too early though, Grav?
Maybe, because we know how Brice likes to play the game, so he'll comfortably pass it on the back. He'll invite pressure, but he knows when it's time to go, he'll go forward.
But the white shirts are edging forward. 2 additional minutes. I don't know if there's a way out for him here.
Not sure.
Marwan trying to step on him, trying to limit the space, limit the passing options.
It's got to be now.
And he has just got out to the halfway line here, Brice. That ball does turn over, but it turns over the Parisians' way. The game will just, unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for Brice by the looks of it, frustration from last year's runner-up.
Nobody's happy. Brice is not happy. Marwan is not happy. We're not happy.
I think both of them looked at this game and thought, that's 3 points.
Definitely.
As Abu Maka leads here against Alihan Lyon. Virtual Bundesliga runner-up this season. That's how he got his spot at the FC Pro World Championships. As for Abu Maka, once again, victory in the ESPL in Saudi Arabia.
That's curious. Jude Bellingham, 34, stamina. Not so tough.
High depth.
Probably with the constant press on as well. It's a tough situation now.
We've seen Abu Maka the last couple of years when we've been over in Riyadh as well. That crowd give him that extra buzz.
Yes.
It'll be slightly more subdued here.
Yes.
In Paris. Do you feel as though that may play an impact, or maybe the pressure's off him a little bit, not being in front of his hometown fans?
It'll definitely play a huge impact. I feel like in last year in the group stage, it benefited him, but then on the knockouts, it felt like the pressure got to him. So I'm curious to see if it's gonna go the other way, if he's able to make it into the top 24.
I remember the FC Pro Open. Whenever we would watch Abu Maka, you sometimes just gotta sit back and go, wow. Some of the combination play, the passing, the intelligence. He was one of the first players to incorporate the chip in as well. It was so smooth. It was so slick. If he can start to replicate that, there's no stopping him this week.
No.
As for Alihan Lyon, the man is dangerous in every area of the pitch. Inside the final third, one of the most clinical players we have. A finesse shot at every opportunity, it would seem, for Alihan. And he will probably be looking at this season thinking, maybe there should be a title to my name, E-Champions League, VBL. just fell short on 2 occasions. I mean, Maka at the near post. Casillas dives across his goal. A spring in the step.
I thought I was going in, Rich. Sorry.
Short corner played here. It's a very, very slow recycle of possession. Those live updates coming through at the side of the screen. Full-time results.
Oh, what a pass.
Pings over to Saka, and he will get himself a corner. Would you like to see a different variation?
I thought so. Maybe trying to be a bit more direct, but he's going for the same one.
You don't want Musiala back there as well as the last man, do you?
That's a risky choice, as you say.
He's just lost possession there, and Musiala is going to be called into defending. Alihan comes forward. There is Alihan, Jamal Musiala in the offensive area of the pitch, linking up with Kika Nazareth. An incredible block. It's scrappy. And Abu Maka remains calm under pressure to play his way out.
The right back is now out of position. I feel like the center midfielders are too high up the pitch. This could be a great attack and a chance for him. Look at it. Yes, he's on.
Usman Dembele didn't play the pass. Goes back to Salma.
Musiala.
Could this be it? Ball roll scoop turn. Dribbling. Close control. Dembele on the finish!
Oh.
Doesn't matter where he is. Abu Maka always finds a way to clutch up in the big moments. The last kick of the game. Abu Maka steals 3 points away from Alihan Lyon.
Take a bow, Abu Maka. I mean, wow. I'm just speechless.
Gravy's speechless. I need a rest. Round 1 has wrapped up here at the FC Pro World Championships. After the break, Puckett, FG and Shells will guide you through what round 1 has offered. And we're only 1 game down here in Paris. We'll see you right after this break.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Qiddiya City, powered by play.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
PUBG, and of course the lovely Glitter once again to give us a bit of an update on what that looks like for the club championship points this time around.
Yeah, and we've got a lot going on actually. We're in day 2 out of day 3 for our group stage, and after today we actually have VP sitting at the very top of our leaderboard, which is good when it comes to the storylines we're talking about for club championship. However, we also have the defending champs Twisted Minds at the top of our leaderboard with still one more series left to play in the group stage, as well as AGAL, who were a team that everybody thought could potentially take the whole tournament home. They had a really rough start to their first day and the first half of the series today. Massive bounce back in the second half of the series, completely clutched up and I think saved their chances of making their way through to the finals. And they're currently in third on the leaderboard right now, so we're definitely keeping our eyes on them.
All right, that sounds like a lot of action actually happening over on your stage specifically for the club championship, which is super exciting and ties into ours as well perfectly. So if you want to have more updates for club championships, just make that you stick around because we will, of course, provide them.
Welcome back, everyone. I am so pleased to be joined by a previous world champion, the 2022 world champion. It is Umut. Umut, I know we haven't seen you on this stage since 2022 when you won it. So how are you feeling being back at the World Championships?
Of course, I feel great to be back. I know I also deserved to be on this stage. It's the biggest tournament of the year. I mean, everyone prepares just for this tournament. Also, the tournament with the most prize money. So everyone is just hyping up for that. I'm happy to be again here and give my best to win it.
All right, let's talk about that first match that you had. It was two previous world champions, 2022 versus 2018. You went up against MS Dossery. I mean, it was quite the close matchup. How are you feeling in that one?
Yeah, to be honest, it was a really tough matchup. It was 50-50. It also could go another way. Yeah, I didn't play that good, to be honest. I think he also didn't play his peak, so we both was struggling a little bit. At the end, I managed to win. I also did a little bit of time wasting. In the end, I played good then, but overall, it was like a really tough match, a good opponent, and yeah.
Well, you have one match done today, one more to go. Next round is up against K1 John. We saw him play over in EMLS this year, so how are you feeling going into that matchup?
Yeah, I played also in previous years a lot against K1 John. I know a bit about his level. I mean, he's really, really good. So it will be really, really tough. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the match. I know he's good, but I also know I'm good. So we're going to see how the match will end.
Awesome. Umut, it's so great to have you back here at the World Championships. I'll let you get back to it, get those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Case, and congratulations to Umut. A big matchup there. 2022 world champ going up against the Falcons 2018 world champion. Dossery close, but Falcons not going to score in this round. Thoughts on what we just witnessed?
Yeah, I think for the first game for both players, I think for Umut, he would favor that matchup against Doss, but I think with Doss, you can never really count him out. We don't really get to see him as much in action as we used to, but every time he does get to these events, he does show that he still got it. It's a tough loss for him first game on, but he still has a lot to prove for himself.
FG, as we take a look at some of the results, how do you finish with a draw after starting up 5-0?
Listen, I'm the king of that. I'll probably lose from that position. So, look, the beauty of this format, like we said, is we are in the league stage. Players will go a bit more gung-ho because, you know, when they've got the lead, they can just try and get as many goals as they can, and your opposition is going to score against you. The result that's standing out to me there is Guga Faraz against Emre Yilmaz. 8-7. Emre Yilmaz, by the way, FC Pro runner-up, EWC champion. He's won the ECL twice. Albeit it wasn't his best tournament this year, but that result for Guga is massive, and that is a player that, you know, we have to keep an eye on throughout this this week, Shells, because he's on absolute fire.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see his highlights in a moment. Gentlemen, walk me through the goals on screen.
Yeah, as you can see, Umut, he got a short corner, plays it short. Short corners are really effective. You can see the finesse shot being used when you get around the box. Lucky to get the rebound for Umut there, but Umut going forward, we know he causes a lot of chaos. And to stop his through balls, as a clearance off the line there from Dossery to keep him in the game. And we move over to this game of Paolo Neto, Chris the Ball. Two Team Liquid players going at it. This was a good game as well.
Highest scorer, too, of the round.
Yeah, great game. Great result for Chris de Boer, to be honest. I mean, both players will be feeling confident. Paolo Neto, of course, he knows he's got more games to go in this league stage. We're seeing goals. That's a finish and a half. This one as well, Shells. K1 John coming out on top in this game. He's got Umut next.
Yeah, K1 John, he had a disappointing finish at the EMLS. I know he was looking to win that all, but lost to Red Lac there, who's also at this tournament. But to beat Ilian first game, who once again, going forward, Ilian Bucci with the player locks, he is so tricky to defend against. And the first game on is a great win for K1 John in this one.
Yeah, a lot of confidence to be taken for that. And then that game we were just saying, this finished 8-7 to Guga Faraz. Many people would have backed Emre Yilmaz. We spoke about it. He's the one who's gone through league formats and been unbeaten before in tournaments. Well, not today. But he won't be worried though, because this man is an absolute veteran of the scene, one of the best players around. He'll be confident.
Yeah, with the Team Liquid boys, they're so mentally strong. I think, well, Emre Yilmaz, of course, we expect him to be winning every game he plays, but I'm sure he's completely fine. Of course, he's lost his first game of the day. He ain't stressing too much. I'm pretty sure we'll still be seeing his name through the knockouts.
Yeah, of course. And this was a massive result.
Banger.
For our Saudi League champion, Abu Maka. A huge victory against Alian Lion. This one was 5-all in the old French affair. We saw Marwan, he seemed quite disappointed. He's a champion. He's an E-League champion at the moment. He's a current champion. He's used to winning. This is 5-all. He was disappointed in this game, but what a game. What a result for the neutral to be able to watch 10 goals. It was just on his even.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Marwan straight away after the game. He just walked off. He looked livid. First game on, but it shows what it means to the players. Every round matters. And he played against his fellow countryman and didn't manage to get the win, but of course, we'll take a point. You can see Abu Maka scoring 90th minute there. Would love to have heard the Saudi crowd behind him in that moment there.
Update here of who has scored 3 points per win, and we are halfway through day number 1. We've got 3 more matches loading up, and as you take a look, you mentioned some of the big surprises. Who do we expect on that right side of the screen to start scoring now, FG?
I mean, I see Emre Yilmaz. I don't see him being on 0 points for long. I think Jafonso as well. I mean, there's a lot of players there who are on 0 points, to be quite honest with you, who will be scoring. I'll be very surprised, and I can almost guarantee all of our players will get points throughout this league. Say, listen, it might be famous last words, but we are watching the best esports players in the world here at the FC Pro World Championships. But one thing I will say, I have to take it back as well. Jafonso, he lost his first game. He's going up against Matty in the next round. 2 teammates.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Shells, we got to take a look here at our next round of matches. We have 6 more taking place across our stages. And of course, we've got big names all week long. Who's the scariest one of this round? Who do you want our cameramen to zoom in on?
Oh, I'm seeing a few games. I'm seeing the Italian affair between Obrad and Samu Gamer. I think that's a great matchup. I have to say Danny Pitbull versus Nasada. I think this is the strongest matchup.
Danny just lost as well, so a lot of pressure.
But Danny Pitbull, he's such a great fundamental player, but I think playing against a player like Nasada, listen, Danny Pitbull, you got to bring your A game. But there's a lot of great matchups. Let me finish against Karim as well.
I've got to say as well, this Oberon game against Samu Gamer, that is a massive game from Oberon's perspective.
Samu just won.
The start that Oberon had, he wouldn't have expected potentially to be in this position. Samu Gamer looks absolutely impeccable in his first game. He'll be full of confidence. The beauty of this format is all of our players know that they're at the point. I mean, if you've lost the first game, Shells, you've been a competitor before. There is a little bit more pressure, isn't there?
In a way, yes and no, because I feel like once you lose the first, depending on how you lose, because you kind of can get the nerves out, but of course you want to get the win as soon as possible, but it can start to creep up because you know the rounds get less and less.
Looks like our players are just about ready to go, and I know our casters definitely are. We send it on over to 2 very handsome gentlemen. B. Smith, take it away.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, we are ready to technically kick on with the second part of the first day of action here. This is, of course, the commencing part of round 2. Everyone's played one game on this stage in Paris. They've had different times and different matchups to play. The interesting thing about this format, Ryan, is that you already know the 6 players you're playing. This isn't Swiss, isn't form-based. If you start well, you play against someone else that's won their game. You already know your 6 matchups for a ball's being kicked here.
I think that's vital. And I think for a lot of these players, they will start to, even though you would try to take each game as it comes, but realistically as a player, I've been there as well, you would look at those matchups and think, where are you likely to get points from? And where are those games that you think it might be a little bit too hard, or it's a very difficult game to overcome. And I think for some of these players now, especially when you've got 0 points on the board, you really want to end today with something.
Absolutely. I mean, look, looking across the board is some of the games we've got. Chat, get involved in this as well. Which game you want to see? Oberon against Samu Gamer. It's the 2 Italians going head-to-head. Red Lack looking for a win after that defeat against Anders Vergang. Takes on Kachi. Just saw him a second ago. Danny Pitbull, Nasada playing in his first World Championship. Levy Finn against Karim is back. And then, as we said, Virgil, Neat, Hezers, and PH Zin. There he is now. You cannot forget, once upon a time, an FC Pro Open champion. I mean, where do you start looking here, Ryan? There are 6 amazing games, and the best part is we can provide you with all the action across all of them.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that Oberon Samu Gamer matchup. I think that's an interesting one. Samu Gamer sitting top as it stands, obviously the highest goal difference, and obviously winning his first game. Oberon, however,
he had a good World Championship last year as well, Samu Gamer.
Samu Gamer was great last year. Champions League as well. He's a very, very efficient player going forward. I think for Oberon as well, I expected a lot from that first game against Milkalov, who was really, really good in that game. And I think especially coming through the last chance qualifier and the play-ins, Oberon would have a lot of expectation to do better.
Believe it or not, the only players in this round that have never faced before is actually Oberon against Samu Gamer. The two Italians, believe it or not, have not had a game on a competitive level. Now they match here in the FC Pro World Championships as Musiala gets Nasada underway. And how often are we going to say that? Nasada scoring goals, no matter if it's in Germany, London, or here in Paris. He's back on the score sheet once again.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite player to watch in terms of entertainment value. You know that you're going to be involved in a game where he scores a lot of goals. He's one of the few players that does take shots from some obscure angles that you may not expect traditional goals to go in from. Like there, I know a lot of people maybe would have opted for something different, but I like the way he goes forward.
Do you think he's so successful though, Ryan, because he doesn't mind taking so many risks, right?
100%. That plays a factor, and I think for some people, it's very easy, even in rivals at home online, you're scared to take a risk. He's able to take those risks against the best players in the world where the stakes are the highest. And I think if he's able to have that confidence, he can definitely go really far this year.
Well, this is where we're going to kick off then. Nasada against Danny Pitbull. Remember, if you're not following the FC Pro World Championships here, it's 36 players that are all battling out to be in the top 24. That's by Friday night, late evening here in Paris. If you get through there, then you're in the knockout stages. But you can make your life so much easier, Ryan, can't? If you just place in the top 16 or the top 8, it becomes an easier road.
100% on paper, that is what I think Anders put it perfectly. I keep referring back to his interview at the start with Casey, is that sometimes it's down to luck in a way. Like you could finish top, and let's say your game is going to be between the winner of Emre Yilmaz and Levi David, for example. It could just be down to luck with the way the bracket pans out. But obviously, as a player, you want to do the best you possibly can.
Update. Goal. Or should I say goals. For Catcher, who leads by 2 goals. There could be another goal over here as well, which there will be. I mean, there's a lot of them in Paris, but the Italians are all scoring goals. Danny Pitbull equalises against Nasada. And Catcher, as it stands, is looking very confident over there. 2-0 he leads against Redlac in the other games as well. Karimisbat leads against Levi Finn by a goal to nil. Virgil Neat is 0-0. And the other 2 games of this round, Ryan, haven't kicked off as of yet.
Yeah, Katia 2-0 up against Redlac. Both players coming into this game losing their opening round. Obviously, Anders defeated Redlac, and Katia, he lost against Banana. This was the equaliser for Danny Pitbull, just playing it back across and quick, snappy passing with a bit of fortune there as well to get it past the defender. But it is very important for both Redlac and Katia to get I want to say a win on the board. I know a point isn't bad after 2 games, but I think getting 3 points is relief more so than anything else.
Off the back of the draft information we got, Ryan, of the 36 players.
Wow.
A brilliant ball through. McTominay! Danny Pitbull leads by 2 goals to 1. But the key takeaways they got from the 36 players that drafted their side. This is the most common 11 players. And if you're a casual player at home and you want to take a thing or two from these best players in the world, yes, they had a 15 million coin budget. Musiala so close to making that 2-2. Casillas in goal. We saw him at the last chance qualifier, how good he has been. A back 4 that looks like this. Nick O'Reilly at left back. It's normally a centre-back partnership with Maldini and Araujo. Pubil in at right back. Salma out on the left. Bellingham and McTominay. That seems to be the double up there. Maybe not Frankie de Jong. Saka on the right. Dembele just in the number 10. And Kika Nazareth is leading the line. That is the most common starting 11 across the 36.
Yeah, there's quite a few positions which I would say are staples. Like you're most likely going to see Araujo in the team, Jude Bellingham's in a lot of them as well. This was the equaliser for Nasada, and you would have seen Virgil as well scoring in his game. I think there's a lot of variation at left back.
Araujo, centre back or right back for you?
Centre back. For sure. I think Pubil would be right back. I think the play styles and also obviously being lengthy is very important when defending.
Because that seems to be the debate, doesn't it? It's about the lengthy battle between Salma and Pubil potentially, right?
Ultimately, at this stage of the game, you're basically selecting your players based on their acceleration type and also the play styles. So quickly jumping over here to see Levi Finn equalised in 20 minutes in against Krimis. Back a little shake of the head there.
Chance Dembele. How has he not scored the 1 or 2 chances that Nasada's had? Corner play short. something else on top of that, Ryan, is, I mean, the play styles are one thing, the length debate's the other, but Salma's just faster than Pouville.
Yeah.
I think it's 91 pace against 98 or 99 pace. It's, you know, so often Salma's still going to win that battle.
Even, that's a good bit of defending at the end, even with the acceleration on the ball, with the analog sprint with Salma, she is so quick. And I think in that situation, it's going to be hard to find anyone that's going to be able to keep up with her. We got a free kick here from Nasada in shooting range.
How about this then? Sancho! Bang! Oh, and in, no goal line technology needed there. I mean, if you get a free kick in the right area, Ryan Passar, we say they're as good as a penalty. We said that for a few years now. And even with a player on the line, no one could stop that finish from Sancho.
Incredible free kick, and that's the thing with Nasada. He's got so many ways to score. You see the replay of it, incredible.
Danny Pitbull, confused how that has gone in.
Look at the runners here.
Dembele, McTominay. This is when Nasada starts to let rip in the final third. Well, shall we jump elsewhere? Because all 6 games are now underway. Musiala finesse. Update here. This was the second goal for Levy Finn. We joined it as we went 2-1 up. But the goals did not stop there. Levy Finn gets another. How impressed have you been by Levy Finn? Because we didn't see a good Levy Finn at the virtual Bundesliga by his own standards. He, of course, was the defending champion from winning the competition before. He goes away for X amount of months and comes back and fights for his ticket to be at the World Championships.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Levy Finn. Watched him a lot this season, and I respect his mentality and also the fact that he had to push through play-ins to get his spot here. He started off really well against Pietzing, getting 3 points on the board, and he's in a tough game against Krim, but if he's able to end today 6 points out of a possible 6, it would be an incredible return.
Yeah, Karim is back. I mean, it's about time he made a World Championship. The amount of times he's been so close. Brilliant ball. There's that finesse. Did he take it too early? Maybe he could have had an extra. Couple of touches there.
I think he was worried about the keeper coming out, and then he slowed down a little bit, but the keeper didn't actually end up covering that much ground.
I mean, you leave day one, Ryan. You don't want to believe with 0 points. I know you've still got 4 more games. And I know you've still got 2 more days of competition to look back on. But just a win, it just does something, doesn't it, for you mentally?
It's confidence. And as I said, though, as you said as well just then, you see quickly bottom left of your screen, that was a goal as well from Katia there, but that opportunity bottom left from Levy Finn could have made it 4 goals to 2, but didn't. Yeah, ending the day with 0 points, it's far from over. You could argue you'd need a lot to go in your favour to get top 8 if that was the aim anyway. You'd have to win all 4 games and hope that other people drop points around you. But ultimately, if you're aiming to get into that top 24, probably, 7 points we've seen in the Champions League earlier on this season was enough.
There's a penalty in one of the other games, by the way, and it's gone to the penalty king that knows a thing or two about scoring from the spot here in Paris. That's Neat that's got a penalty. He has just scored. He's trailing in that game still. 3 goals to 1 against Virgil. We'll give you some updates around the ground. Catcher, 4-1. He leads against Redlac as it stands. Hezes has broken the deadlock against PH in 25 minutes in that game. He leads by a goal. So this is the goal that we were speaking about. He went for a Panenka down the middle. Remember his story. He beat Tex to get into the World Championships. Oberon against Samu Gamers, a game that we haven't really spoken too much about.
Talk to me, Brandon.
There has been another goal in the game, and I believe the Samu Gamer could be leading Oberon by 2 goals to 1. Kind of feels like the old guard versus new guard there of 2 Italians that have both been in the competition and in various
Here.
They have got. They've got three players here.
Yep.
And a big hint, two of their players actually won the French E-League One. So if you know where those players are from, that might help you on your way. Keep your guesses coming through on that Mystery Nation as Nasada. He's on his hunt for a fourth goal. Update there. Karim is back. Well, that's the player that we were just speaking about. Now, Didi, what are you doing that far up the pitch? It's not France. That would have been a given if they had said France. It's not Belgium. Also, chat, let us know the predictions. Who do you think will become FC Pro World Champion this year? Will it be a new name on the trophy? Will Manu lift it for a third time? Anders for a second time? Will Nicholas win a World Championship for the first ever time? The debate will be going on across the next few days here in Paris. There's that finesse from Saka. It all became a little bit too trademark and a bit too obvious there in the final third, but he just about did enough, Danny Pitbull.
Yeah, he's on as well. Beautiful bit of play here.
Is there a pass? Luca Bacchio, no, there's a finesse. Four. Surprise, surprise, these two have just pulled the game back square again.
I think Nasada's frustrated there. Defensively, it looked all too easy there. Had a lot of opportunities to push forward and create that space for the through ball. But down the other end, Nasada's getting into those offensive areas quite frequently. It's just about whether or not he's going to take the opportunity to score. This game, Hez is leading 2-1. This puts Hez on 6 points as it stands. Pietzin on 0.
That table will keep on updating, by the way. We'll try and do our best to feed in the hard work of the admins and the team behind the scenes of that table that is going to continuously move to league phase. More updates from the other games. Virgil, 4. Neat, 3. Catcher, 6. Obram, 2. And Sammy Gamers with 3. As that one comes in, it's another Italian who's on the score sheet. Hezes pulling away from Pietzin. Nasada will be happy as well, Ryan. He has just scored. 5-4 he leads now. This was a penalty from Redlac. That was live. We just saw that penalty back goal for him.
He's going to have to make a ridiculous comeback here to get anything from this game.
Well, the good thing is they do get the league phase is spread across 3 days, Ryan.
It is. It's not as, because as you said, it's split across three days. It's not as detrimental. If you do start slow, you're going to see players that will end today on 0 points or 1 point, maybe 2 points maximum, that will probably make it through. See the idea as well. Salmo couldn't get onto it. The pass wasn't accurate enough, and it allows Redlac to start an attack of his own.
Well, but 9 minute half, so it's going to be time for a couple of chances, but they have to be perfect attacks from the MLS champion this year. Just looking at the stats and the data, I mean, because of the ecosystem as such, obviously the E-Champions League and the EMLS don't merge, so he was one of the few players that qualified for the World Championships really early on to the season, but unfortunately couldn't quite. I mean, he hasn't really. It's one of those, you've qualified for the biggest tour of the year, but you haven't got anything else to play.
Yeah, you're kind of just resorting to online tournaments and practice cups. But again, I mentioned it earlier, you can't replicate the intensity of a last chance qualifier or another domestic league that's later on in the game cycle. This was goal at number 4 for Hezes, 4-2 up against Pietzin. We'll jump back over to this Virgil Neat game with just over 10 minutes left to be played. It's an attack for Virgil, in on goal here.
Big chance. 5-3. They're in a pause and we'll leave them to it for a second. Let's go somewhere else. What a game we might have on our screens, by the way. Levy Finn, Karim is back. I'm looking at 6-6 potentially. I can hear the game sound. Let's go to it now.
Very aggressive offside trapping here from Danny Pitbull. You see the replay of the goal. That did make it 5-3 for Virgil. And there was a goal, bottom left of your screen. Asada 7-4.
Well, let's leave them to it if we can. Karim is back against Levy Finn, maybe in the game. With 6-5, sorry, now it's 7 goals to 5. We'll join it live now. Chance for Karim. There's the ball roll. Could he have had a shot? This was the 7th goal, right?
Yeah, lovely extra pass there. And of course, Adam Wharton can put it into that top corner.
Back to this live now. 12 minutes left. You have just joined us. This is round 2 of the league stage of the FC Pro World Championships. We're only playing up to round 2 today. We're back tomorrow for round 3 and round 4. Carpa, nicely done. Deserved the goal.
I think he had way more time than he thought in the box there.
Update there. Piagin is trailing, but he's getting back into the game. Samu Gamer 4, Oberon 2. Dembele with the step over. Still Dembele. Levy Finn. I mean, we talk about finesses, but sometimes just get your head down and
he's done that. He's done that in his earlier game against Piazin with those roulettes, and it's just the finish at the end of it that didn't work out. But a lovely bit of skill. And over to this Nasada game, Danny Pitbull's going to have to try and get a goal from this attack if he wants to take anything from this game. It's not going to work out. Nasada can start to slow the game down, you'd expect, but he's somebody that's always on the front foot, Brandon.
Kill it now. Kill the game now. Michael Elise. Okay.
I think that stunned you there. I'm looking at you. You didn't expect it to go in. 8-4. See Piazin.
4-3. I don't know how he got it in, but he don't care. Hez is a little bit more frustrated, and rightly so.
Bottom left then, Asada, goal at number 9.
No. You've poked the bear, Ryan.
That puts him on 16 goals across 2 games.
9-4. I mean, he'll be gutted that he's not playing round 3 and round 4 now.
I think that's the hard part, again, from a player's perspective. When you're playing on full floor, you're hot, you kind of want to carry on going. So the way to get momentum, it's going to be very difficult. You'll be hoping you can kickstart day 2 the same way you left day 1, but an unbelievable amount of goals. Also, Brandon, there are some players that would have played in round 1 today that won't play again until round 6 of the day, which is...
How hard is that for those players?
I think people underestimate the difficulty of it.
Because that is realistically, what, 5 p.m. until you're going to be back on at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, Paris time?
So it's a long wait and you kind of don't know what to do in that time. But I guess the benefit is that you know your opponent, so you can just sort of go through their gameplay and try and dissect it, try and get a bit of information. But yeah, staying warm is probably the difficult thing.
First result in from this round 2, by the way. Virgil 5, Neat 3. So he's picked up 3 more points, the Italian. Playing in his 2nd World Championship. We saw him again, of course, in 2024. We were in Berlin. That's the only game that has concluded of this round. So look around the matches. Samu Gamer Oberon's got 10 minutes left. Samu Gamer is still winning. That Hezer's 4-3 up against PH Potentially a comeback on the cards for Red Lap, but I don't think there's enough time on the clock. He's only 6-4 down now in that game. And Nasada has just concluded his matchup. He's just scored 9 goals. This was goal number 8 against Danny Pitbull. And he scored one more after that. Danny Pitbull finds himself in a bit of a difficult position. This was the last goal. What a through ball again. Just a finesse. Easy as you like. Nasada's looks like he's gone into second gear, Ryan.
Yeah, and when he's in this flow state, it's impossible to stop. Levy Finn, 2 wins from 2. He sits pretty on 6 points. A 7-5 victory against Karim, who's having a tough day one as well.
Well, 3 games done. Make that 4 games. Full-time result, catcher, 6-4 against Redlang. He's back to the drawing board tomorrow to get it right. Only 2 games left. 10 minutes left on this one. And Oberon Samu Gamer just 5 minutes in front of this. PH in. Kicking in that Tuzzy kit from right to left. Azuzu got his ticket very early into the season to the FC Pro World Championships. Musiala! Piagasin! Ties us up at 4-4.
That's that finesse shot, though. You get those angles. Some players opt to overplay it, maybe turn a little bit more. But when you have the angle there with the finesse shot play style in this game, precision shooting, it is a very, very viable way to score, as Piazin showed just there.
Talk me through it, Ryan. This
Right
was
here.
the...
Some people overplay, they'll maybe slow it down, look for Salman, and maybe play a pass backwards. You don't need to. Almost another opportunity to score there from Peterson. He's got the corner. Keeping at the edge of the box there, can't get enough contact on it.
5 minutes away. Are we in for a match winner here? I'm not sure if we can catch the closing stages. Bellingham with a chip. It was cheeky. Well, it's just about worked out for him. 5-4 up and he's straight back in the game. No time to hang about for the replay there.
Yes, this ain't hanging about. Noise Peterson.
3 minutes left. All Hezes needs to do now is just slow it down, Ryan. Full-time result. We didn't get to see much of it, but Samu Gamer picks up 3 points over Oberon. 6-3 win. Or the pro player of Sassuolo, who goes through to the next round of the competition. Added time to follow now. Hezes, I don't think will look to score again. It'll just be slowing down the game because these are a big 3 points in the overall complexion of this league phase.
Yeah, 1 minute added on as well, so he can go all the way back. And can just take seconds out. If he goes long as well, there won't be enough time, and he plays it across very calm and composed.
Game over. Hezes 5. PH 4. And that will wrap up the last match of action. Well, there we have it. That is part 1 of 3 of round 2 concluded. When we're back from this, the games continue. Still 2 more rounds to come from day 1 of the FC Pro World Championship, and the action continues after this.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes